Hello students, how are you? Welcome back to my science class. Let us recall what we have learnt in last two classes. We discussed monomers, polymers, properties and uses of synthetic fibers like rayon, nylon, polyesters, acrylic and PET. Then, two activities: general characteristics of synthetic fibers, advantages and disadvantages of synthetic fibers. Today, we are going to deal a few topics. The topics are activity 3, sericulture, about plastics. That means, what are the raw materials used for manufacturing plastics? What are the kinds of plastics? Differences between thermosetting plastic and thermoplastic. First, I am going to explain about activity 3. In this activity, we are going to study the electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity and tensile strength of fibers. For doing this activity, we need the following materials: small strip piece of cotton, wool, nylon, polyester, burner with gas, tripod stand, water in a beaker, conductivity meter, flat plate. What is electrical conductivity? Electrical conductivity is the ability of a material to conduct electricity. That we know already. It is conductors and insulators. So we are going to test the conductivity of a fibers. Put the two probes of the conductivity meter across the cloth. Measure the electrical conductivity. Record our observation with all types of fibers. Next, we are going to test the thermal conductivity. What is thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity is the ability of a material to conduct heat. For that, heat the plate with burner. Place each fiber one by one. Observe the heat we feel through the thickness of each fiber. More heat we feel, the fiber has higher thermal conductivity. For this also, we have to record our observation. Next, tensile strength. For testing the strength of the fiber, tear different fibers apart one by one. Observe which can easily tear apart and which is the hardest. The more difficult is the tearing, the higher is its tensile strength. For this also, we need to record our observation in the following table. Next, I am going to display a small video for testing the tensile strength of different fibers.
Strength of a fiber. Let us perform an activity to find out the strengths of different fibers. Take an iron stand with a clamp. Take 4 threads of different materials like cotton, wool, silk, and nylon, each of about 60 centimeters in length. Now take the cotton thread and tie it to the clamp so that it hangs freely. At the free end, suspend a pan in such a way that weights can be placed in it. Add weights one by one till the thread breaks. Note down the weight required to break the cotton thread. This weight indicates the strength of the fiber. Now hang the woolen thread and repeat the activity. Note down the weight required to break the thread. Repeat the activity by using the silk thread. You will observe that, when a weight of 200 grams is placed in the pan, the thread breaks. Now use the nylon thread, and add weights, till the thread breaks. You will find that, even after adding all the weights, the thread remains intact. From this activity, you can conclude that nylon is the strongest fiber.
What is sericulture? Sericulture is the practice of rearing silkworms to produce silk on a large scale. How do we get the silk from silk moth? Here, I am going to display one video for understanding this process. Watch it keenly.
Sericulture. In this module, you will learn about sericulture. Silk is a fabric with an attractive luster and drape. Called the queen of fibers, it is used not only to make beautiful clothing, but also for upholstery and soft furnishings such as curtains, cushions, and wall coverings. Silk is produced naturally by larva of silk moth. The best variety of silk is obtained from the larva of the silk moth, Bombyx mori. The practice of rearing silkworms in captivity to produce silk on a large scale is called sericulture. Sericulture starts with laying of eggs by the silk moth. The adult yellowish-white female moth lays pinhead-sized, slightly yellowish eggs on a special paper set out by the silk farmer. The eggs are uniformly spread on egg frames and then covered with tissue paper and an outer frame. These frames are kept in an incubation chamber for about 20 days, where they hatch due to the warmth. After 20 days, egg frames are taken out, kept on a tray and opened. In these 20 days, eggs hatch into about half a centimeter long black larvae. These egg frames having larvae are then covered with fresh mulberry leaves by the silk farmer. The larvae then crawl out of the egg frames and feed on the mulberry leaves day and night for 4 to 6 weeks and grow into an adult larvae. After approximately 6 weeks, the adult larvae stop feeding. Farmers transfer these larvae to mountages. Each larva then produces a single continuous silken thread and wraps this thread around itself to form a protective case called a cocoon. The cocoon formation completes in 3 days. The larva first changes into a pupa and then into an adult silk moth, which breaks the thread of the cocoon and comes out of it. Since the silk thread of the cocoons is damaged by the silk moth while coming out, silk farmers usually kill them by putting 10-day-old cocoons into hot water. The hot water also loosens the long silken threads of the cocoons. Loosened threads from several cocoons are then wound into yarns to make strong threads which are woven into cloth. In this module you have learnt sericulture is the practice of rearing silkworms to produce silk on a large scale. Sericulture involves the following steps: laying of eggs by silk moths, hatching of eggs into larvae, formation of adult larvae, formation of cocoons, and extraction of silk threads.
What is called plastic? A material which can be easily molded into any desired shape on heating is called a plastic. What are the raw materials used for making plastics? Petroleum products such as ethane, propane, benzene, toluene, etc. are the raw materials used for making plastics. These materials are either directly polymerized or first converted into suitable monomers chemically and then polymerized to form plastics. What are the different kinds of plastics? Plastics are of two types: thermosetting plastics and thermoplastics. Next, you are going to watch one more video about plastics.
Plastics. We use number of articles made up of plastics in our daily life, like your water bottle, pencil box, tiffin box, even at your home. You must see most of the articles are made up of plastics, like buckets, mug, water tank, chair, table, pump switches, even utensils, and endless product we use in our daily life. Plastics are made in all possible sizes, shape, and color. A plastic is a synthetic material which can be molded into desirable shape when soft and then hardened to produce a durable article. Example: polythene, polyvinyl chloride, bakelite, melamine, and Teflon. Let us study one by one. Type of plastics. There are two types of plastics: thermoplastics and thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastic. Plastic in which the long polymer chain are not cross-linked. The plastics which can be softened repeatedly by heating and can be molded into different shapes again and again is called thermoplastics, like polythene and polyvinyl chloride.
Next, thermosetting plastics.
A plastic which once set does not become soft on heating and cannot be molded second time. It is called thermosetting plastic, like bakelite, melamine.
Differences between thermosetting plastic and thermoplastic. Thermosetting plastic. Thermosetting plastics are the polymers in which chains get highly cross-linked on heating. Once we molded thermosetting plastics, they cannot be remolded. That means we can't reuse it. Examples: bakelite, melamine formaldehyde resin. Bakelite is used for making cooker handles, switches, etc. Melamine is used for making kitchen things like plates, bowls, etc. Thermoplastic. Thermoplastics are long chain polymers with no cross linking. Heating also does not produce any cross linking between the chains. Thermoplastics can be processed repeatedly. That means after heating we can remold it and we can use it again and again. Examples: polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, nylon, polyesters, etc. Copy down these 3 questions in your fair notebook. Today's homework: learn and write the same 3 questions in your science rough notebook. Get signed from your parents and post the classwork and homework photos to my personal number. Thank you, children.